Waiters, waitresses of Reddit, what is the most absurd request you have ever received by a customer? I was bartending at an Applebee's. We had all kinds of smoothies and daiquiris on the menu. One day, a lady ordered a mango daiquiri. I made it, delivered it. She drank about 1/3 of it, then asked if there was real mango in it. I told her it was a concentrate, but yes, it has real mango in it. She panics and tells me I can't drink this. I'm allergic to mango. Awesome. It was a busy lunch rush on a hot summer day, so the AC was blasting but not enough to keep the whole room cool. Add to this the fact that all the servers are running around as fast as they can in order to take care of each table's every desire. So, one lady at my table approached me at the computer while I was putting in their order. She asked me if I could stop sweating. Okay, hold on one sec. Had a guy who got furious at me for not having the cloth under his burger like it did in the menu to make it look nice. He called me out saying it was false advertising and threatened to call the cops. Mother didn't even comment on the burger. I guess he really wanted the cloth. The dude didn't give a frick about the cloth. Some people just like raising a crap storm so they can get free stuff from managers with no balls. I once had a woman order a burger and request that I take the lettuce, tomato and onion that come with the burger and chop it into a side salad for her. It was 99 cents extra to add an all-you-can-eat salad bar to her order, but she insisted I take the single slice of tomato, the single slice of iceberg lettuce and the single circle of red onion and make her a side salad. So I did, and I charged her $1 for the side of ranch dressing. I bet that somewhere, someone has this on a list of frugal living or diet tips. Make your burger into a whole meal. I worked at Red Lobster in Canada for a number of years. There's a live lobster tank for fresh full lobsters if you want to pay a little extra. Usually the customer assumes you'll just pick one and cook it up for them, but I had a gentleman ask if he could handpick it from the tank himself. No problem. He picks one up, examines it, and proceeds to sing some foreign operatic aria to the dang thing, in front of the whole restaurant. Not a word in English. No idea what he was saying to it, but dang if the poor lobster didn't near shed a tear. Then he was boiled and thoroughly enjoyed, of course. I genuinely laughed my butt off on a full train to the thought of a lobster crying because of a song. Beautiful. I used to bartend wait at a local golf course. I once had a customer ask us to make the shelled mussels less time consuming, but was adamant that they should not be taken out of their shell. Then, to top it off, asked that his lamb not taste like lamb. Asked the chef if we could do anything about the lamb. Didn't bother asking about the mussels. Chef promptly told me to go frick myself, and if the guy doesn't want lamb then he cannot order the fricking lamb. That's a direct quote. When we informed him that we would be unable to accommodate these requests, he asked for a free gift card for the inconvenience. Once I had a family get pee at me because we didn't have any pillows or blankets in the back for grandpa, who was cold and very uncomfortable. It's a restaurant, not a hotel. Was a server at a country club. Large party with everyone requesting special orders and substitutions. Get to the last guy. Eggs Benedict. No eggs. No Benedict. I think to myself, okay, guess that leaves you with a plate of ham, English muffin, and asparagus, but whatever. Cut to me serving the food. Him last. I put down 3 small plates, one with ham, one with English muffin, one with asparagus. What's this, he inquires. Your eggs Benedict. No eggs. No Benedict. He totally gave me the deer in the headlights look as the rest of the table all bursts out laughing. And his wife chimes in, that's what you get for being a smart butt. I asked if he wanted me to get him a complete order, but he declined, saying that they had a plane to catch. They then proceeded to lounge around for over an hour. That job totally sucked, but times like this made it worth it. Not a server but work in back of house. A server came back requesting a ramekin of fryer oil for her guest. The woman wanted to dunk her food in lard, explaining to her server that it would make her boobs bigger. Yay, and just about everything else on her body too. I had a man request a place to speak privately with his sister-in-law. I said no, but they snuck into a meeting room and locked the door anyway. I unlocked the door to kick them out and they already had half their clothing on the floor. Part of me thinks that's hot, but at the same time it's in public. I used to work Saturdays at a French restaurant and a guy once asked me to make sure his steak tartare was well done. When I explained that it's served raw, he said he was going to get us done by the Food Standards Agency for serving raw meat. Waiter, this gazpacho soup is cold. I've got two. 1. A rough and tumble gentleman came in and asked me to show him our largest glass. I brought out a beer stein that held 32 ounces. He looked up and down and said, "That'll do," and then asked me to fill it to the brim with chocolate milk. 2. A guy came in and asked for a bacon cheeseburger and then proceeded to list all the things he didn't want on it. When it was all said and done, he basically asked for a patty and buns. That's all. I told him that's what it was and he said he still wanted it, but then was mad when it came out. He was genuinely confused, angry when he told me, "Look at this crap. It's just meat and buns." I brought out a beer stein that held 32 ounces. He looked up and down and said, "That'll do," and then asked me to fill it to the brim with chocolate milk. A true hero. Once had a gentleman on a date ask for a bowl of lemons. I obliged since I was curious. He proceeded to make his date lemonade at the table. My wife is a server and had something very similar happen just last week. The gentleman at the table said, "My wife would like some limes, a few packets of equal and a glass of ice." My wife complied and the woman proceeded to make her own limeade. They ordered a bruschetta and complained that it had tomatoes in it, because the lady was allergic to tomatoes and I should have warned them that bruschetta contains tomatoes. I don't understand people who don't tell the waitress waiter about their allergies even if the item doesn't include said allergy. The kitchen should still be aware of this. We had this omelette on our menu that had this chunky, spicy salsa type stuff in it. It was pretty good. A lady wanted that omelette, but without any of the chunky salsa stuff. Without the chunky salsa stuff, it was merely an omelette with some cheese in it. This was clearly explained to her, and I told her that she'd save a couple of bucks by just ordering a cheese omelette. She screamed at me that no, she wanted this omelette, goddammit. Okay, fine. B. I put in the order, brought it to her, and she complained quite vocally that it was just a cheese omelette and couldn't you put some vegetables or bacon or something in it? Jesus freaking Christ. Customer service. I want the spiciest you can make it. Tell the kitchen to try their hardest to actually kill me with spice. He ate it all wordlessly, crying, thanked the kitchen, then left. What a great way to hide how sad you really are. Not me, but my best friend is a waitress at Applebee's. She once had a customer demand she be served a new salad because there was a hole in one piece of lettuce. She also had a customer get really angry because there was beef in her hamburger. 3 girls came into our breakfast restaurant and all ordered different omelettes. They called me back to the table after getting their omelettes and asked why they had cheese in them. Apparently none of them had ever heard of cheese and eggs in the same meal before and were disgusted by the concept. They seemed to think it was bizarre. They weren't even foreign. They all had American accents. So I can't understand how they never knew that omelettes had cheese. They demanded that we not charge them because they were not specifically warned that there was cheese. That's the most un-American thing I've read all day. If you accidentally put a little cheese in my ice cream, I'll at least try it. I had a man complain about every little bit of food that graced his table. He and his companions ordered a bunch of wings, ate half. Then he started going off about how disgusting they were, wanted me to box them up for his dog and then take them off the bill. Motherfucker, that's not how this works. I would have called the Humane Society on him if the wings were truly for his dog, as deep fried chicken and cooked chicken bones are both terrible for dogs. In high school, I worked at the Mexican food court restaurant. My very first day on the register, a lady asked for nachos in a cup. I told her that wasn't on the menu, and the container we use for nachos is way bigger than the biggest cup. She got irate and said money isn't an issue and just put some freaking chips in a cup and cover it with freaking cheese. I asked the manager, and he told me charge her double for the special order. I told her it'd be around $15 to do this. She gave me a $20 and said keep it. I filled the large drink up about halfway with chips, then poured cheese in there till it was almost full, dunked some chicken slices, put the lid on, then handed it to her. At the absurd request, she asked for a straw. I have a couple. There were 2 guys that would come in middle of the week early lunch and order the exact same thing. Well done steak. Steak had to be of a specific shape. They would ask to see it before it was fired. Salad with only the lettuce. Dressing on the side but brought out separately. Could not touch the same plate as the lettuce, and a pie that was frozen. Not cold but frozen and had to be just like ice. If any of those things were not done with precision, they would be sent back. It got to the point where only one server was allowed to serve them because he was the only one that ever got it right. The oddest request, but that I didn't mind, was a couple came in and asked that we give them a table with lots of privacy. That we offer their guests all of the courses, and even if they say no, that we should encourage them to order dessert and appetizers, and that they would be in our section for a while, and that other than just making sure their drinks were refilled and such, that we should try to give them privacy. I was slightly annoyed, but it was an easy table. 2 hours later they leave and leave a great tip. I get a note the next day. It turned out the original couple were adopting the baby of the guests they had. It was their first and final meeting before they were due to give birth, and felt like the staff did a great job in an uneasy situation. I felt pretty okay with the requests after that. Once had a customer ask the other server I was working with to cut his burger into 8 pie slices and which specific order to stack the sandwich. He then offered her a job and she took it. Poor choice. Oversized hamburgers cut into slices like a pie would be a pretty nifty novelty food item, to be honest. I worked in a Greek restaurant for 2 years in the kitchen. Occasionally the owner would come in cursing up a storm because a customer was refusing to pay. The boss rushes in swearing about the pasta. He's accusing the cooks of fricking it up and they demand he taste it. Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. An elderly couple had licked their plates clean after running up a $100 bill and suddenly claimed everything was awful and they wouldn't be paying. Please tell me that the manager made them pay. I used to work at popular Canadian coffee chain. We had a regular who would order a small coffee with 12 creams and 6 sugars, which left room from approximately 1 ounce of coffee. Regularly she would complain that she could not taste the coffee. The worst I had heard of was the Gretzky 9 creams and 9 sugars. I have a standout that I can remember from a stint at a standard Mexican place. Lady orders cheese nachos without the chips. That is, cheese melted to a plate. At first I thought she was doing some weird Atkins crap. Nope. She proceeded to scrape the cheese off the plate with the basket of chips. I'm allergic to garlic. Please make sure there is none in my food. I worked at an Italian restaurant. I knew this customer was going to be a good one. They also requested to sit somewhere that didn't smell of food. I can't imagine what their expectations were. Yes, that would be outside and you will get nothing. Someone will be with you shortly. I am sushi waitress. Customer, I cannot have gluten. Make sure there is no gluten. Proceeds to order sushi. Me. Mom, our vinegar contains gluten. I'm afraid our sushi is not gluten free. Customer, well, it's okay to cheat a little. Different customer, can I return my glass of wine if I don't like it? Me. Let me get my manager. Customer 3, I thought I'd like this roll but I don't. Can you replace it? Me. What seems to be the problem with it? Customer, you guys did nothing wrong. It's just I thought I'd like eel and I don't, so can you replace it? My boss ended up replacing it with a California roll, but boy was she confused. It's not really a request, but I work at an upscale steakhouse and I had someone ask me what kind of lamb was in the lamb bolognese. I said, me, well, it's lamb, butter ground and combined with the sauce. Guessed, what part of the chicken is that? Me, it's not chicken, it's lamb. Guessed, stares at me blankly. Me, you know, lamb, like a baby sheep. Bah. Guessed, oh, so it's not chicken? Me, actually, we have a chicken option that I think you will enjoy. I will give you a good tip if you chew up my mozzarella sticks and feed them to me like a baby bird. The request was made to my co-worker, and she said heck no, but he ended up paying some drunk chick at another table $30 to do it. I think that's enough Reddit for one lifetime. Making me charge them more money. Basically the guy took out meat of a dish, instead of modifying a veggie dish. Okay, man, the check looks wrong. I get that, but you can see that the items come out for less. Please make it right. I don't appreciate you trying this. So I go and get another check. As you can see, sir, the dish had a protein you didn't want, so I modified a vegetarian dish so you didn't have to pay for it. You can pay either check you wish. Dude pays the higher one. Stiffs me. Boss overhears and I'm in trouble for costing the business money to try to increase my tips, which this totally does. It's just weird. People are usually very happy when you do this. I often get tipped more than the difference. It's considered exceptional service by lots of people. I had a couple do this. The wife had a salad from the salad bar, and instead of charging the $8 for the salad bar, I added a $2.99 salad onto his meal. Dude flipped his lid about how he didn't have a salad and he wasn't paying for it. This didn't happen to me, but to my co-worker with at a burger place we worked at. So this guy and his kids are sitting at the table and he tells the server that he wants to order macaroni and cheese for his kid. The server looked at him and was like, sorry man, we don't serve mac and cheese here. And the man stares at him and says simply, well, my kid wants mac and cheese. We had to talk to the manager, who made the host run next door to Trader Joe's to buy some mac and cheese for 99 cents. We sold that crap to him for $10. That customer is a freaking idiot. Holy crap, man. I worked at a small mom and pop Italian restaurant, and upon request we would hand out a small cup of Parmesan cheese for their meals. There was this one older gentleman that would request it at the beginning of the meal, right off the bat. By the time his food came, it would be completely gone because he liked to eat it by itself. Just spoonfuls of finely grated Parmesan cheese. My boss didn't really care. He came in all the time and we let him eat as much cheese as he wanted. I actually worked with a guy who would just eat Parmesan as its own side dish, not as a topping. I had a regular couple who would ask for a certain brand of diet soda every single time they came in, even though they knew no one carried it. They told me that other restaurants would make a quick trip to the store for them, that it was proper customer service to do so. Sure, no problem. Hey, while I'm gone, could you keep an eye on my other tables? Help seat guests that arrive. Check on the patio and make sure to circle through the kitchen to run my food. Be right back. A bowl of whipped cream. This lady that I waited for on hand and foot, and then they asked me for a bowl of whipped cream. I had no answer to this request, so all I said was sure, be right back. I came back and she started devouring it by the spoonful. I was both intrigued and disgusted. She licked the bowl clean. I didn't touch that table anymore since, except to leave the bill. I used to do this as a kid. My parents were always very apologetic towards servers, if they even let me order it. Yes, just a bowl of whipped cream. Our child is very strange. I worked at a coffee shop and I had a customer order a large non-fat decaf no foam cappuccino. So she just wanted black water. Oh boy, I've been waiting tables for years. I'm kind of late to the party, but a woman demanded to have me fired because I didn't magically know about her dietary restrictions that she did not tell me about until her food was already in front of her. Two women who apparently had to catch a movie in 15 minutes, both ordered well done burgers and then complained about how long they took to make. Then when they finally did come out, they were perfectly well done, but they were still unsatisfied and sent them back twice. They complained to corporate and, of course, stiffed me. An older gentleman asked me for hot orange juice. A man who tried to order drinks for his underage daughters, I'm assuming, before they arrived. I told him I would have to wait to eat them before I could bring the drinks to the table. He threw a fit, but the manager sided with me, since I was just trying to follow the law. When the girls finally did arrive, both of them magically had forgotten their IDs. The kicker is the guy still tried to order the drinks for himself after a while. Yet, no, a vegetarian ordered a chicken dish. I warned him that there was chicken in it. He didn't seem to mind. Then he complained when his chicken dish had chicken in it, and instead of getting something else he sat there and pouted while his date ate her meal. I once had a woman hand me a piece of paper that had all of her food allergies on it. It was an entire page long, and she expected me to scan the recipe books in the middle of a Saturday rush for something that she could eat. Magically, I found the time to look, and lo and behold, she couldn't have anything. She then got upset and demanded that someone go to the grocery store down the street and find her something to eat. This one isn't mine, but my boyfriend works in a Thai restaurant and he has at least 2 tables a week where someone has a peanut allergy. There is literally nothing on the menu they can eat, and when they find this out they demand that they are made something special. The entire kitchen is riddled with peanuts, peanut oil, and peanut sauce. Obviously, this is impossible, but some of these people are relentless, and this is just all I can come up with off the top of my head. I'm sure I can think of more stories if given more time. Not so much absurd, just very odd. A lady wanted Miller Lite in a wine glass with a few ice cubes. Had to double a few times exactly what she was asking for. Mother suckers wanna look fancy, don't be rude. I was once working at a bit of a rough wedding. This one guy was really pee and ordered some drinks. He was a bit full of himself and trying to do the whole big man charade. And being a waiter, I just had to deal with his crap banter. His wife came over. She was a human Barbie, very skinny, tanned, blonde, and gave the impression of being very dumb. She also had quite a large rack. The husband turns to me and says, "Not bad, is she?" Of course, being 18 at the time, I smile and agree. He then asks me to guess what he bought her for their anniversary present. I had no idea, obviously. He then informs me that it was a boob job for his wife, and that I should try them out. I tried to resist, but he then grabbed my hand and made me cup her Silicon Valley, which I then had to smile and say how wonderful they were. Still have nightmares of that strange day. I wake up in a cold sweat with a confused boner. TLDR. Was forced to cup fake breasts of client's wife. While reading this, I thought the whole time it was a girl telling the story. Oh, my time to shine. Family of 4, we'd like to see your vegan menu. All of us are vegan. I work in a steakhouse. WTF. They ate dry sweet potatoes, AMD didn't tip. Doucher bags. When I was a waitress in college, I had an elderly couple asked if we'd pray with them before they ate. I'm atheist. I kindly declined, saying I had to take care of other tables. When I went to go collect the bill at the end, they only tipped me a tiny Bible and wrote, "God frowned upon your decision to not pray. He's always watching. We'll pray to see you at the heavenly gates on your day." WTF. Don't worry, they probably wouldn't have tipped you even if you had prayed with them. They would have written something like, knowing the love of the Lord is its own reward. Or, we'll pray for you at church. I know the type. Might be late to the party, but I once had a regular who was drinking quite a bit. He could handle his booze pretty well. He left for a little bit and came back with a fish from the pet store. He then said the fish could live for 3 hours in the bag and continued to drink. Couple hours pass and he asks for a cab. I call one. Let him know when the cab arrives. He leaves and puts the fish in the cab to take home to his unsuspecting wife and comes back and orders another drink. I can only imagine what that cab driver was thinking, driving a fish home and his wife opening the door to her fish at 9 at night. I had one other guy sit in the far back corner of an almost empty bar. He asked for hot water. I dropped it off, then he asked for ice water. I dropped it off, confused, but whatever. I look over at him as I stand at the computer and he is mixing them together, added ketchup and salt and pepper, downs it and walks out. So random. Maybe the second guy figured out some life hack and isn't sharing. Like he found a legit cure for hangovers or how to pass a drug test or breathalyzer or something. The place I work has 2 menus, lunch and dinner. Last week a woman came in at lunchtime and asked for the chorizo and goat's cheese stuffed chicken without the chorizo and with feta cheese instead, with the wild mushroom sauce and our medallions of ribeye. Also dinner menu. On a ciabatta roll with red peppers and potato wedges from the chicken on the specials board. Still don't know where she got a dinner menu from at lunchtime. Also, just for general stupidity, tonight a person ordered sticky toffee pudding with ice cream, cream and whipped cream. We don't do whipped cream, and then sent it back because they were allergic to chocolate, which may have been a good idea to mention before ordering dessert. They then demanded the same dish with no chocolate on it for free because they were upset at being served chocolate. Oh, and last month someone sent back a piece of pie because it was a corner piece of pie and she didn't want a corner piece. We refused to give her another and she sat in a massive moody fit while her friends ate and enjoyed themselves. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.